Wave 6's trailer got dropped on Wednesday, so here's my thoughts before the Wave itself releases. Just remember, everything here is my personal opinion, so if I say something bad about a track you love, don't take it too personally. Anyways, with that all said, let's just zoom on right ahead to the tracks, characters, and all that jazz. Starting off Wave 6 is Mario Kart Tour's Avanti. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure on how to feel about this one. I should probably specify for any new viewers to the channel, I play Mario Kart Tour. I have experience on playing each of the Nitros and all of their variants, and I love most of them in 8. However, the tour tracks in Wave 6 are probably the second weakest selection, the only one rivaling it being Wave 1, and I think it's pretty obvious for why Wave 1's tour tracks are really bad. Fortunately, for Avanti, the layout in Tour is so complex that no matter what Nintendo does to it, it will probably still be good. Many tight narrow streets with lots of hazards, a giant coliseum to run through. Sounds like a wild ride. However, in my opinion, the presentation of the tracks is something yet to meet the high bar set in Wave 4, and some of the other tracks in this wave. The thing I liked about the aesthetic of Avanti in Tour is that the buildings managed to stand out whilst also keeping a darker tone beneath the night sky. The darker buildings contrasted well with the bright light illuminating from the windows, which gave it a unique feel compared to the other nighttime cities. Although that feeling is still present, the buildings being darkened even more in the 8 Deluxe version kind of worsens the effect. The new road texture looking kind of mediocre also doesn't help that much. Also, the rocky wrenches look disgusting. However, on a positive note, the rest of the course, mainly the Coliseum and the glider section over the water, looks stunning. It's nice to see buildings with actual brick textures. As I said before, I will most likely enjoy Rome for its twisty layout and dramatic Coliseum landmark. However, the course's aesthetics is something I'm very mixed on. A good start to the whole wave, but the other opening track is likely not going to turn out the same way. Welcome in towards Madrid Drive. Although I praised the first variant a lot in my updated tour ranking, which most people just interpreted as me thinking Madrid Drive is the best city, it's in fact one of my least favourites. Remember, there are 3 variants to every single tour city track. So if the whole track is going to be good, then all 3 variants have to be very high quality, and I only think that one of them, being the first variant, actually meets that good standard. And if only one of the variants is good, then I fear what it's going to be like in 8 Deluxe. Okay, I'll start off on a positive note. The football stadium has added dash panels, which not only shortens that section, which will probably be really easy in 8, but it also adds in a risk-reward element. The footballs, which are really easy to avoid in Tour since they were meant to give players points, now actually serve a threat by blocking the dash panels. Great change. Unfortunately, that was the least of my fears for Madrid Drive. For starters, Madrid Drive's third variant has many massive sets of staircases, none of which playing well. And as shown in the trailer, you seem to be going through the stairs in the worst direction possible. Along with that, this means the conveyor belt is going to be useless in this version of the track since we are going down it. And to top it all off, this routing. What on earth went wrong? You start off on Madrid Drive 1 as suspected, but then go on to Madrid 3 normal for lap 2. That's fine and all, but then lap 2 is supposedly Madrid 2R. Why wasn't Madrid 2 in the normal direction? Hell, why wasn't Madrid 3 in reverse? It would have played so much better in that direction. And there were many ways to put Madrid 3 in the reverse direction and put Madrid 2 in the normal direction. And even then, what if I told you that the route was even worse than what I just said? Although yes, we are getting the routes in these directions. For some reason, Madrid 3 is lap 1 and Madrid 1 is lap 2, because all tracks start off with a singular item box. Honestly, the only redeeming quality for this track that I can think of is the music. It sounds amazing so far, but overall, they seem to have just messed up a track which already had so little potential as is. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have GCN DK Mountain. Whilst Madrid Drive received very little changes to solve its many issues, GCN DK Mountain actually had quite the glow up. The most notable change they made was shortening the height of the ramps so the course would be less clunky. They aren't even ramps anymore, just part of the mountain's rock which looks way more natural. I'm a huge fan of this change. A change I'm not too keen on though was the clearly intentional removal of the gap jump. I always liked this shortcut in Wii, although there is a small chance that it will still work, judging by the fact that the added fence doesn't extend all the way down the path. One last thing, they reused the bridge from Tour, now removing the guardrails, meaning that the bridge is now trickable. I like this since it gives you something to do on the bridge. Personally, I would have preferred Dino Dino Jungle to be the track they chose for this slot. However, they seem to be addressing my main issues with DK Mountain. If the gap jump is also just made to cut off less of the track, but honestly, I think GCN DK Mountain might turn out to be good. Another track I have a small bit of faith in is SNES Bowser Castle 3. This course is quite clearly made with the booster pass in mind, and I think most people have come to that agreement. There's literally a segment that feels built for anti-gravity. Unfortunately, the course felt kind of flat in Tour, for feeling slow and janky. However, remember, this was likely made with the BCP in mind, so there's a chance that the course will be way better in 8. I hope that's the case as well, because this track looks gorgeous. Loads of high quality textures and the lava is stunning. Looks far better than the lava in base 8, which is quite surprising. The walls have also been upscaled to fit 12 racers, and the issue of the course feeling hard to combo on will be non-existent because of the obvious lack of combo system in 8. This is a track that I'm very hopeful for, however I'm trying to not set my expectations too high. Especially when we have tracks such as Wii Daisy Circuit. Daisy Circuit is an interesting case, because despite being revealed in a Nintendo Direct, graphically it's one of the weakest tracks in the selection. Untextured buildings fill the streets and the roads, and I have been meaning to talk about that since the Direct aired. I hate it so much that they made the road orange. It's in fact the main reason why I don't like the look of Maple Treeway in this game, and whilst Daisy Circuit is leagues better than that graphically and most likely gameplay wise too, the road just reusing the texture from Sydney Sprint is such a letdown. You can't even be bothered to just change the colour of it in like Photoshop or something to match the colour of Tour. No, they just put it in with the rest of the orange, leading to the statue section looking less pleasing than I would have liked. They also added in a tour ramp in the tunnel for some reason. It not only looks bad, but it also has no reason to exist. Really, Nintendo? Aside from that, they don't seem to have made any other changes to the track, which I'm thankful for because I like Daisy Circuit a lot in Wii. Speaking of Wii, Rainbow Road. I'm actually more excited for this one than I originally thought I would be. For starters, this course got a banger remix. I'm glad it's not orchestral because it allows the song to sound more energetic. Plus, I prefer this style of music way more anyway. There's a reason musically N64 Rainbow Road is my least favourite out of the Rainbow Roads in 8. The course also looks stunning. I like the road texture for this one a lot, especially compared to the garbage they used for 3DS Rainbow Road, where that literally looked blue, not going well with the dark blue skybox. But onto the actual layout itself, it actually looks like it'll be a lot better than the tour version, surprisingly. Ignoring the obvious free laps thing, they added back the ramps into the donut section. Along with that, one of the shortcuts from Wii returned, which is outstanding. Best of all though, the course seems like it will be a lot more fast paced, which is a great thing to see. It doesn't seem to be as upscaled compared to the other BCP tracks, which will hopefully allow this to be an actual challenging track unlike N64 and 3DS Rainbow Road. Very excited for this one, and I think they did a phenomenal job from what I've seen. Whilst we were all predicting Wii Rainbow Road to come, I don't think anyone was predicting 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. I, along with many other people, did not expect this track to return after getting Daisy Circuit. And if I'm being honest, I think I'm a bit disappointed that it did. Don't get me wrong, I think this course is great in 7. However, the reason for that was a gap cut you could do, which was extremely satisfying, but that will most likely be removed. Instead, in its place, we will have this new ramp shortcut near the end of the track, and whilst that solves one of the 2 issues I had with Ice World originally, the other issue, which is much bigger, was not addressed, this being the underwater section. This is a massive pointless straightaway, which could have been interesting if they took advantage of the fact that this used to be a special cut track, but they didn't. This could honestly kill my enjoyment for the track, which is quite upsetting. I'm not very excited for this one. Okay, so I didn't know how to smoothly transition into the next track of this, so let's just put an image of Killer Fish on the screen. Finally, we have the course I'm most intrigued by, Tour Piranha Plant Cove. Ever since its release in Tour, I have honestly not been too fond of it, and although the third variant has managed to win me over, the second variant did the opposite. However, I do think the 8 Deluxe version is going to solve my main issue with Cove. The layout all feels quite condensed and slow, especially with that long straightaway in the middle of Cove. But for starters, the course will likely feel far less squished than the original, due to the course being upscaled from Tour. That long straightaway though I think will be addressed unintentionally, due to the lap changing gimmick, cutting the time you spend mindlessly driving straight by a lot. Similar to Bowser Castle 3, the course also won't be at mercy of the combo system, which is great for this course's chances of not being F tier. Maybe I'm just blinded by this course's stunning visuals and the amazing music, but I have some hope for this one. Oh yeah, the aesthetics. As I said literally 5 seconds ago, this course is unbelievably pretty. How come this course of all courses got so many high quality textures? It makes the Tour version look awful in comparison, and the music was always great in Tour. So I'm glad this version is just as good. But let's address the elephant in the room. Where on earth is Piranha Plant Pipeline? For those unaware, Piranha Plant Pipeline is the only Nitro track from Tour not brought back for the Booster Pass for whatever reason. For those who also didn't watch my Tour ranking, this is my favourite track in the franchise. Very complex design, with split paths, many unique obstacles, and a very appealing aesthetic, in my opinion at least. Unfortunately, the track got replaced by what I'm assuming is Cove, because Nintendo didn't like the idea of Pipeline being the final Nitro of the pass due to its daytime pipe theme, creating Cove instead to try and make a better final impression for most of the community. Unfortunately, that meant we are never getting Pipeline, unless of course Nintendo brings it back in Mario Kart 10, but in all honesty, I have a feeling Nintendo wants us to forget about Pipeline, which is extremely unfortunate. Would have loved to see it in Wave 6, and it could have potentially pushed Wave 6 to being the best wave. Along with missing a banger track, we also probably lost what could have been an incredible banger remix, judging by what the last few electric guitar remixes have been like. This isn't even like Mushroom Bridge or potentially Dino Dino Jungle, where they have an equivalent in 8. Pipeline is its own separate thing. Piranha Plant Slide After was themed after a sewer, whilst Pipeline is all fit inside winding tubes. It's just really unfortunate that we had to lose this gem. So much for presuming Tour, I guess. Moving on to the characters, and they all suck. Diddy sucks, Pauline sucks, Funky sucks, Peachette sucks, moving on. But moving on from that disgrace, we have some outstanding news. We're getting new Mii costumes, and thank God, because the Tour ones look amazing compared to the 8 Deluxe ones. We're getting 18 in total, so let's quickly review them all. Birdo Mii Suit looks fine enough, although it feels unnecessary with the Birdo character already in the game, and it being so similar to the Yoshi one. Replace it. Toadette Mii Suit. I'd argue that this makes Birdos more obsolete due to the color scheme, even then though I would still remove it in favour of something more interesting. Question Block Mii Suit. Amazing choice, it's easily one of the goofiest outfits in Tour, and it's actually one of the few Mii Suits in the game which I have. Biddy Bud Mii Suit. Keep this for the simple fact that we can have the Biddy Bud on the Biddy Buggy, and that would actually be a good combo stat-wise as well. Daisy Mii Suit. Looks kinda mediocre, and the Peach one is already so similar. Doesn't matter though since it's locked behind Amiibo, and I don't have the Daisy Amiibo. Still will replace this with the Waluigi suit though, since that would also be locked behind Amiibo. Ice Cream Mii Suit. Really happy they brought this one back. One of the more unique ones from Tour whilst also looking decent, and also having some cool trick animations. And just in case you're wondering, yes, this and the Castle Mii Suit confirm we will be getting the Tour trick animations. Dry Bowser Mii Suit. Looks really good. I don't mind this already being an 8 with an outfit that's so similar, just because of how good it looks. Wiggler Mii Suit. It looks fine, although with the Pokey suit, it makes me wonder why we got this over something like the King Bob-omb suit. Another Tour original character as a suit. Long live JFK. Replace this one. Moo Moo Mii Suit. I'm surprised they even added this, but that's funny, so why not? Keep this one, it's cool. Koopa Clown Car Mii Suit. This is another one I wanted. Extremely cool design in Tour. The clown car looks great, and the clouds are just the cherry on top. Keep this one. Goomba Mii Suit. Back-to-back bangers here, wow. This is also another one I really wanted. The closest we'll get to playing as Goomba in Mario Kart. Keep this one. P.E. Mii Suit. One of the lamer choices for the same reason as Wiggler, but also with the fact that the Piranha Plant Mii Suit exists. Replace this one only if the replacement is the Piranha Plant Mii Suit. Cheap Cheap Mii Suit. Dolphin Mii Suit. This is actually one of the better looking Mii Suits, for not just being an out there inclusion, but also being a really good looking Mii Suit in general. Castle Mii Suit. This is one I would have not expected in a million years, but it looks really cool. A great reference and the flag trick animations look good. Pokey Mii Suit. Said this already, but this is just a far better version of the Wiggler suit. The spikes are a nice touch. Keep this one. Shame Chomp Mii Suit. This one I'm not too excited for compared to the others, although it's not bad. And Chain Chomp deserves to be playable at this point. Blooper Mii Suit. Ending off with one I wanted the most. It's got a very simple yet pleasing design. The LED lights of the blooper look especially great. Just an overall well done Mii Suit. Love that they added this. I don't use Mii Suits too often, but now with these actually good looking Mii Suits, I might use them. One last thing, they added in the Jukebox, but just listen to the music on YouTube instead. I don't know why games keep including these. I do not care about this. And that's my early thoughts on Wave 6 of the Booster Pass. Overall, I doubt this will be the best wave. Wave 4 will most likely never be topped, and I knew that ages ago, back when I made that Wave 4 early discussion video. If I were to quickly rank every track that we've seen based off what I've said in this video, then it would go 8. Tour Madrid Drive. 7. 3DS Rosalina's Ice World. 6. GCN DK Mountain. 5. SNES Bowser Castle 3. 4. Wii Daisy Circuit. 3. Tour Piranha Cove. 2. Rome Avanti. And 1. Wii Rainbow Road. But what are your thoughts on Wave 6? Let me know down below. I love reading your comments. And I'll see you next time. Bye.